his wife has COVID, so he was told to stay at home.
It's big.
Yeah,
It's too close.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our August the 2nd, 2022 regular meeting. I want to welcome everybody on Zoom and to our audience this evening. Does any member of council have any pecuniary or financial interest to declare? Seeing none. This evening we have a delegation, and Carmen, do you want me to introduce you again to everyone? Okay, yeah, all right. So Dean Hawley is our road superintendent.
That's okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay, Chris Knapp is our community development officer. Brian Pekoski is a member of council. John Jeffrey, a member of council. Ted Brown, a member of council. You know me, I'm the mayor. Janice TJ. Tammy Goujon is our CAO. Debbie Poplinski is a member of council, and Stanley Pekoski is a member of council. So welcome, and go ahead with your presentation. Now, we don't have a table anymore for that, eh? We used to have a table for our delegates. Okay, can you manage? Yeah, well, go ahead then.
I gave some attachments.
Yes, I should, I have not, yes, thank you for giving us the heads up.
I thought I'd introduce myself a bit. It's been a long time since I've
Yes.
been here, maybe 16 years now. And
Is it that much?
I think so.
Really?
Wow. And since that time, I've continued to do research in the topic of risks to health associated with industrial wind turbines. And I thought, I don't think I had provided a bio before, so I thought I'd give you a brief bio.
It's in your package.
Yes, that's correct. So you will see that I've got a lot of experience, work experience in surveillance, looking at methods, doing the science around health, especially adverse health effects. I was a former director of publications and editor-in-chief of the CPS, which is the Compendium of Pharmaceuticals and Specialties. Now, that's the blue book maybe you used to see in the doctor's office, where they use it for prescribing information in Canada. So I applied all the skills that I've had over time, including working in Health Canada and so forth, and that. So I'm here because I continued well, I guess I should back up one more thing. In 2008, when we moved here, we got a flyer in our post office box about wind turbines being considered here in the area. And that's when I first came to council. I got interested in the topic because my husband and I were quite, I guess I would say enthusiastic, and we really thought it was a good idea. But there was something in my head, I'd like to research these things. And so I just I decided to explore that a little bit more. And what got me started is in Europe, I saw reports of people experiencing adverse health effects, especially around sleep deprivation, which is over time not good for someone, seeing cardiac effects and so forth from the noise. Now, those turbines were under 1 megawatt typically, they were 0.6. I started working on that, I guess, in the fall of 2008. And by January 2009, I was getting a bunch of people phoning me about experiencing health effects from the turbines that they were living with. They were typically 1.36 megawatt, which was quite a bit higher. And I got more and more involved. I'm not sure how people found out I was working on this, but it certainly grew. And by the time 2010, the first ERT, or Environmental Review Tribunal under Green Energy, was started. And what I did on my agenda item is put you in touch with the decision that was made during that ERT. I was one of the members of the lawyers' legal team to do the research on health, because that was the very first DRT from the Green Energy Act. And they had determined that the case successfully showed that the debate should not be simplified to one about whether wind turbines can harm humans. The evidence presented to the tribunal demonstrates that they can if the facilities are too close to residents, and the debate evolved to one of degree. So what tricked me onto that is the matter of degree, and I could not find what that meant. Did it mean the turbines were too close? Was it the degree to do with setbacks, or the degree of how serious the harm would be? You can see it's kind of not a very clear statement, but it was certainly acknowledged and recognized that the harm could occur. One of the issues with the Green Energy Act is that a community or anyone appealing the approval of the project had to prove causality. Now that means you have to prove in terms of health that something absolutely caused the effect. And that is very rare in biological conditions. That's a mathematics or a physics thing. But in health, you have associations usually, or suspected effects. But to prove the cause that it was wind turbines was an impossible test. And so I started to look what meant one of degree, and an email message from one of the lawyers from the Ministry of Environment said that had not been determined. They were waiting for courts to do it. So that's why all the tribunals, except a few, have not been successfully achieved. I think there's been more than 50. No one can really prove causality. It's almost an impossible test. So I continued working on this, and I gave you just a summary of the references that I've been involved with. I'm peer reviewed as an author and co-author. I think it's up to 23 publications now. Some of them are 23, sorry, 23, yeah, 23 of them. And some are in medical journals. So we've been successful in getting a lot of peer-reviewed material out. I work internationally with physicians and a lot of people, acousticians and so forth. And recently, there's two things that I think would be of interest. When people were calling me, a lot of them were telling me they couldn't live in their homes and had to leave. And that always struck me as a very significant effect that's pretty strong when someone has to leave and wants to leave. So finally, a few years ago, I got together with a team of doctors and acousticians and other health professionals, nurse practitioners, and so forth. And we did an ethics approved study, which is really important in science, to consider what led people to consider contemplating to leave their homes. And so we have 3 papers out on that. We got so much data, I think we're going to need 7 papers. And I'm working on the 4th right now. The people that described, there were 65 participants, and they described very clearly the effects that were occurring to them and how that took place when the turbines started to operate. And if they left their homes, say, for vacation or a day away, their symptoms improved, went away. So I have only seen one other study that considered the topic of vacating in homes. So I think we have a unique study that it's getting a lot of views. The first 3 are getting a lot of views that have been published. What we did is, just to give you a little bit of methodology here, we looked at the qualitative methodology, which is a methodology in social sciences that you listen to the people, what they say. It's the words of the people are the data. The other studies that people do are ones that they're looking for statistical significance. That's called quantitative. And both of these methods are in, I guess they're part of the curriculum under the province. So teaching curriculum teaches both those methods. So one advantage is that you, in one of them, you look at carefully at listening to what people say. And all 67 of our participants attributed their effects to the turbines. And all 67 participants were either contemplating to leave or had already done it. So there was, the importance of that is that in social sciences, you listen to that data very carefully. When you're doing the quantitative, it's based on statistics, and they're very difficult sometimes to get clear statistics, because often you need huge volume people. And the way the turbines are installed in Ontario is they're in pockets. So you don't have a centralized area or anything like that. Just to give you an example, an analysis was done by a colleague of mine who found that within 1,500 meters, there were almost 90,000 people living within that area. And in one of the tribunals, one of the expert witnesses for the Ministry of Environment said that that annoyance, which is like a nuisance factor, or it's a noise annoyance, when turbines sound level got up to around 45 decibels, that it was expected 20% of the people would be affected. So when you consider that you've got 93,000 people living within a certain range, that gives you a substantial number of risk factors. And that's the kind of stuff I always like to look at. So I've detailed some of these, and of course, just to show you the inventory, you'll see I get a lot of invites. I've spoken at universities across Canada, sometimes medical officers, meetings there. I've been in California, Vermont about 3 times, out east in Cape Breton, some of the other, like I've been everywhere. Alberta, Saskatchewan. I don't go anymore. So a lot of travel. And I also get invited a lot to submit articles on this topic. So all that to let you know, we've made a lot of progress since I've last been here. Another thing I'm starting to see is communities in other jurisdictions, like in the States, in Korea, Japan, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Australia, France, Italy, Portugal, they've won cases there. Now, the cases are somewhat different. Some are to do with effects on animals. Some are to do, like Australia's had some big cases on the health effects and damages have to be paid. Same with Northern Ireland. 7 families had to leave their home and they won their case. So I'm just saying that we were really lean in the early days, but other jurisdictions were 10 years, 20 years ahead of us. Last thing to tell you, let you know, is that we successfully published a document on the Bradford Hill criteria, which in science is very important because we don't have to prove serious harm with that criteria. It's used, it's very famous, it's used a lot in diagnostics because you look at associations rather than that high burden of proof. And so we made our case in that Bradford Hill criteria for causation. That was a very extensive peer review. And if there's any, I've got the link and everything, if you'd like a copy, that one summarizes very well where we're at. It cites the animal work and cases, it has the legal cases. It has what's happening to people, all those cases, so that one's a good one. And then the other one, we get a lot of interest on our completed homes project, because I think it's, the way it was done, the expertise that on the authorship is very high. And I forget, are we in the thousands and thousands of reads right now, which is quite reassuring. So I guess that is just a quick update. So much, I could report a lot, but 15 minutes, that's it.
I appreciate that. You did well.
And I know you're busy. And if there's anything of interest, certainly I can provide you anything that is of interest for personnel or council. And as usual, this is a very welcoming council, and I appreciate that very much.
Oh, thank you. Are you open to any questions? If council
Absolutely.
has questions?
Absolutely.
Council, do you have any questions?
I think just, sorry, Madam
Yeah,
Mayor.
go ahead.
You just said that there's one paper that you just finished that you said
Bradford?
that we,
Yes.
yeah, I think if we could get that.
Yeah, because I went through, I didn't see.
That's the one I think that she said that they just,
Yeah, they just, but I don't see it on the, yeah.
It's on the number one. It's because it was the newest one.
Yeah, okay.
I will send that to you.
Yeah, send it to Tammy, and then Tammy will make sure that council gets a copy of it.
I think the one thing that's been very hard is that it's very hard to get past policy. So the policy issue is very difficult. And even though the Green Energy Act has been repealed, the projects are still operating. And I don't know if you've heard rumors that there might be something going on leases because of the Ottawa.
Yes,
Yes.
this afternoon I got from the Ontario Landowners Association an email come in, and it's the first I heard about it, but there's supposed to be 300 turbines they want to put up around Ottawa.
That's right. I don't go there, but certainly they don't produce the megawatts needed. And no matter, yeah. I guess my last thing is the bigger they are, the worse for the health effects, because they emit more powerfully things like the noise and the infrasound and so forth. And we have one project that's got the 3.2 megawatt. And right now, from Freedom of Information requests, there's something like in 2018, there were 7,000 incident reports filed to the ministry. Now, I don't use the term incident reports because I know what that means, but it's the ministry's own documents. They have a form that's filled out that says right at the top, incident report, when someone files a complaint. So the person I know is trying to get the next FOI for between 18 and what's going on now, and has been delayed a lot. And it's an estimate, there might be 8 or 1,000 or more incident reports. That's a lot of reports.
People, yeah.
That's a lot of reports. Sorry.
No, that's good. Thank you very much. Good. Any further comments or questions? Okay, John?
One more thing, the big concern, what they said in the email I got, the people in Ottawa have never been informed about any of this.
It's hard to get on certain, I'd like to speak to like the council down there, but sometimes it's hard. And I know a couple of people that are living outside of Ottawa, and one of the projects there that's been operating for about a year and a half. It's devastated the people there, and they can't get a hearing. So sometimes that's difficult, and sometimes you have to. But I'm certainly going to try. I've spoken. What I thought was a big success is getting invited to speak at universities to the students, the Houston students. And there was, I'm sorry, can I just?
No,
I had to do 4 presentations in one day because the amphitheater wasn't big enough to hold all the students. So they could only hold, they had something, the first year students were 1,200, you know, and then the graduating students were 200. So, whoa.
Yeah.
But it was really nice because they were young, enthusiastic, mostly acoustic students.
Yeah.
And really, yeah,
Interested.
yeah, interested. So I've done some in the universities, and I'd like to do one in Carleton, especially where they're training acousticians. Because they're gonna be the future out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Anything else, council? Well, as usual, you did it well. You did it in 15 minutes. Carmen, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And we appreciate, it was nice seeing you again, and keep up your good work. And you're always welcome here.
Thank you. I'm trying to not retire, but to retire.
Well, you know what, it's sometimes you're, this is good for a soul, and you're able to accomplish so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, now, Karen, Kathy, did you want to talk to council, or when we get to that correspondence? Just if we had questions.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we'll go on with the,
Pretty much.
Is that-
Sure.
yeah, okay, we'll go ahead with our agenda then, and when we get to that piece of correspondence, if council has questions, you're here.
No problem.
All right, so, council, you've had an opportunity to see minutes of our regular meeting, July 19th, open and closed. Can I have a motion to accept those minutes?
Moved by Deb Kuzinski, second by John Jeffrey, motion to approve minutes of the regular meeting held on July 19th, 2022, open and closed sessions.
All in favor? Carl, you're okay?
You can't hear, I don't think.
I'm
I'm trying to, I was just sending him a message. Yeah, I'm trying to, Tammy can't unmute from his end, so I
Okay.
just sent him a text saying where the little microphone is in the bottom.
Because we need him to be able to participate.
He's looking, he said bottom left of the screen.
Oh, that's what he's doing, so he read your email.
There should be a little microphone.
He needs to, but it will go away, he needs to hover his mouse over the ball.
Yeah.
He needs to be able to
He
participate.
said it's at the bottom left of the screen.
Hello? Carl?
Can't hear us? No.
Sorry to our public, but he needs to be part of this meeting, so.
Normally with team meetings, you can mute.
And he froze there, he froze. Oh,
No, there he goes.
So I just sent him a thing that says, ask him to unmute, so I don't know if there's something wrong with him.
he's trying to call.
Usually the host can unmute them though.
Yeah, she
Through Zoom,
tried.
I don't know.
Well, whatever I've done. I unmute.
Yeah, through Zoom? I know through Teams I've
Yeah.
unmuted, but I've never done it through Zoom.
One call.
Oh,
Oh, he answered, look at.
yeah, we hung up.
Technology, eh?
He's unmuted.
There's no arrow with you.
No, because if I go, if I click up.
Oh, I can hear it though. That's you.
It's not.
Whoa, all right. Okay, we'll try to walk you through here.
Okay, he's on the line now.
What does he have to do?
So you should, if you take your mouse, Carl, and go to the bottom left of the screen. You should just hover, there should be a little microphone there. Bottom left, and the bottom left of your screen with your mouse. You should see.
A mic. Yeah. Okay, if you can't, well, Teddy's willing to let, or on your phone?
Yeah,
Teddy's willing to let you be on the phone, so at least we can hear you and you can hear us. Carl, is that okay then?
do you wanna use your cell phone or do you wanna use your house phone? Okay,
Okay. What did you say?
bring a cowboy hat. Oh,
Me, a cowboy hat. Oh, from Regina. Okay,
Anyway, we're voting on the minutes now, right?
we're voting on the minutes, Carl, so are you okay with the minutes? Guys, show me hands again. Okay, it's carried, thank you. Thanks, Kenny. Sorry, Kathy. Technology.
Sorry about this, guys.
That's okay.
Totally get it.
My grandson just screwed up my computer.
Happens to all of us. They always do it, my friend. Okay, we're moving on then to reports. So, now, so Dale can't be here. He has a report. Let's just look at that report from him. It's the Gem Tech report. And that's the report on the building, the abandoned building across from the bank. And, so he was gonna come to answer any questions if you had, but he's got some personal issues and he wasn't, so we're gonna write any questions down and we can, relay them to him. Did everybody have an opportunity to look at it?
No, it was just on our desk tonight, so.
Okay, well, what we'll do is then, why don't we take that home, everybody,
Yeah.
and have a look at it, because I don't want to rush you through it. And then maybe Dale will be available next time, he can answer any questions. Is that okay with council?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, and then, Dean, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Give us your report, please, and thank you.
Sure. Brush cutting continues on all the roads. Most of them had, well, all of them has the 2 passes done, but on some of the higher traffic roads, we'll be doing continuing brushing. Winter sand hauling has almost been completed. Regular road maintenance and equipment checks have been ongoing. Some of the sidewalks here in town, we've pulled up, so we'll have some probably anticipating forming this week and probably pouring concrete next week. Tyler has planned for working at heights training as well as ladder training, most likely in September if we can get our schedules together. Our summer students are really doing well with the grass cutting and et cetera. Waste management report, the students has painted the landfill gates and going to have them paint some of the bins as well as the railings. GFL didn't show up to pick up some of the garbage bins for the weekend, so I had to take a truck out to the Sunrise site in Round Lake for Monday, and staff pulled the recycling bin up to use for part-time so we could have somewhere to store our garbage for Saturday. So that's why some of the landfill site isn't looking as clean as it should because of that.
Okay.
And hazardous waste day is August 13th, 9 to 3. I don't know if you want to have anything else to say about hazardous waste day, Stanley, or?
Yes, I could ask the members of council, how many will we have volunteered? Maybe Brian, Joe.
Just a second.
Carl, where do you go be at the hazardous waste?
Carl, are you gonna be at the hazardous waste day?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
You
Carl,
want to cook?
You barbecue?
are you go barbecue?
I guess.
I think is Chris, are you there?
Yeah, Ruby and I'll be there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So Ruby and
Chris.
Chris will be there too.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
Are you guys grabbing the stuff for the barbecue, or do you want me to get it?
pardon?
Are you guys?
Who gets the stuff for the
the
barbecue?
I think
Carl
that,
does.
Okay.
Carl, are you gonna get the stuff for the barbecue?
Yeah, I'll get it all, thanks.
You'll get it all. Okay, thank you.
How many staff then from Workshare do you need to stand, do you think?
Okay.
How many do you need?
We should be fine. I was going to be happy if we had 5, so we've exceeded that.
So you don't need anybody from the roads yard then?
Will you
It'd be nice if there'd be one person there that would move that truck around if we need to.
Yeah, open up and stuff, yeah.
And open the garage and that.
Yep.
But once we lay out the pylons there, so that they can get started, and the people from the that are picking that up will get their truck placed and ready.
Yep.
There should be at least 5 for unloading, because somebody has to leave for a bit. And if we don't have enough there, a delay. It holds up, it holds the people up. It's from 9 to, from 9 to 3. It's, at the end of the day, you know, if you have 5 cars pulled in there, and of course, then people will not touch it after 3 o'clock.
That's right.
It. It's a contract.
3:01.
So, 3 o'clock, it's over. And, you know, if it's, I hate like.
Yeah, turn anybody away.
To say it's our fault that we didn't get them out of there fast enough, you know, to empty their.
And sometimes.
Most of the people are actually very, very good. They'll throw something away themselves. Onto the counter there for them people to sort. But there are a lot of people that are not able, you know, they'll open the trunk with the new vehicles, now you just push a button and lives by open, but
Yeah,
and somebody has to get that out of there and get them moving to. Now the batteries, Dean, will you have half them there that we could
Yes, we
jam
have,
them on?
yeah, we'll do the same as we did the previous year.
Yeah, that was, worked good there, that saved me going all the way down there.
Oh, no, we'll,
Well, it don't matter, I'd have to bring my wheelbarrow, I know that was wrong.
we'll have a truck there standing.
Yeah, and then we'll leave the one dump truck there,
Mhm.
and we'll leave another half down there. Because there's always that
Mhm.
recyclable and some garbage that gets tossed in there, like some of the soil boxes, stuff that people bring stuff in.
Yeah, we'll have that. We'll have
And
the
then
half,
we can sort that there as best we can.
Yeah.
And make it easier for the people that they have to sort that out, the waste thing.
yeah, we'll have the tandem there for the cardboard as usual, and then the 2 half tons there and the trailer we'll have for the garbage. And
Yeah.
et cetera. So,
That should work.
yeah, no, it'll work, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. You have it all organized.
Okay.
All right, Dean, anything else?
Not for me.
Okay,
Well, I want to
Okay.
thank Dean there too
Go ahead.
for talking to the county there. They've done a good job of filling the small hole there.
anybody want water? Anybody want water or anything like that?
The only other thing maybe is you should consider, since sometimes like with the long weekends with the garbage bins and that, we did get recycling bins purchased. Maybe next year we should look into maybe getting another garbage bin. We have 2 garbage bins
Yeah,
right
because
now.
when what happens, then you're stuck.
Yeah, because like right now, like I said, they're filling the recycling bin. And we had to have the tandem there at the other side, which is not a big deal, but it would be nice maybe next year's budget. to
Yes,
put in for something.
that was Saturday there, it got choked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I was in there and they hadn't come to pick up. Or did they come?
No, they didn't come.
They came today.
Oh, they came
They
today.
did come today, but we'll have to get everything else, like the recycling bin, we'll have to dump that in, tandem we'll have to dump in, and so,
That's a lot of extra.
yeah, so
Yeah, well, that would be something that could be looked into.
Yeah, you can ask budget.
for next year or whatever like that, because
Why didn't they come?
they said there were trucks, or one truck was broke down or whatever.
Typical stuff of running a
It's a couple times now that they,
And who's that?
GFL,
GFL, the flesh.
We have a contract with them, right?
Well,
Well, we don't want to rock the boat.
I
They're the
think
only ones.
I think we should be thankful that up till now they've been treating us, I think. pretty good.
Absolutely, because they're what we are.
And I mean, if you break down, you break down. I mean, something that you just can't.
Until that our prior sites built, we have to be nice.
Started.
Well, he's hoping it'll be up in next year, or the year after, so I mean, it's still, we need to be friends with GFL, that's for sure.
Company that size.
I won't be chair of waste management.
They should have-
No, you won't be sure.
Trucks, a company that size, they're huge. Like, it's not just they're.
No, I know that.
They're using trucks.
Well, I mean, it's up to council, but, yeah.
If it's going to be a problem, eventually we'll have to do something.
it's been a few times.
we need to buy some extra stuff.
It will be, one more bin would definitely
Yeah.
alleviate a lot of the problem. Like if there was an issue like with their trucking or whatever, because yeah, you know yourself, everything, you know,
I mean,
equipment
it's-
does break down, but still, like, yeah. it's-
How do you judge, like, you know, on the weekend like this, I find, I don't know about anybody else, but there's more and more and more people around the area, it's unbelievable.
Mhm.
So then, you know, there's more garbage
More
coming.
garbage, more recycling.
When we don't plow the roads, we hear about it right away,
Absolutely.
even if there is a truck broke down. So
Well, I mean,
if it's, I say let it go this time, but if it's gonna keep being an issue.
well, why don't we write them a nice letter? Saying that, you know, we have some concern, just because on long weekends, you know, then it piles up and, you know, and let them just know that we're giving them kind of a heads up that we're concerned about it, but nice, not reprimanding them or anything. How about that, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, Karen? All right, anything else, Dean?
Not from me.
Okay, anybody have anything, Debbie?
One Carl does as well.
Carl, okay, just a second, Carl, we've got Debbie and then you.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so, well, actually, Janice, you and I both heard, and I don't know, Ted, maybe, we heard Jackie Olszewski was chatting with us at Songs in the Park on Friday, and she
Oh,
talked
yes.
about Byers Creek Road. I
Yes.
just wanted to make sure that all of council is aware that she said you might have spoken to Dean about it.
I already told Dean,
Okay.
to put it down for next year. I'm hoping that whoever's
Okay.
sitting here, it is in bad shape, so
Yeah.
whoever's sitting here, be aware that
Yeah.
that's a road that should be considered for.
I just want to make sure that it was brought up at, you know, at a regular.
I had
meeting so that
already,
everybody-
I had
Yeah.
gotten someplace.
I knew that you had already said that you had spoken to
told
him.
Dean to do that.
Perfect. Yeah, that's it.
Anybody else Carl, go ahead then.
Yes, Keith, I think it's Street Street by the liquor store there.
Street light.
North Street,
Oh, you go north. Street.
North Street, yeah.
There's two manhole covers, one down by the juice and one just going east of the liquor store. There's about a foot and a half drop in the one manhole cover.
That's the one we have the pylon on right now, Carl?
I haven't been out of the house.
Yeah,
The
no,
liquor store.
we have a pylon on it right now. We're aware of it, Carl, but we'll get that looked after.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you got a good phone, mine is not that loud. You know, you can't hear. If I was doing that with this, it wouldn't, yeah, very good phone. Okay, anything else, Carl? You're okay? Council, everybody okay?
Mhm.
Dean,
The
anything else?
only other thing there,
Oh, he's got his hand.
Oh,
go ahead, Carl. Okay.
go ahead, Carl.
I'm good, no.
Oh, okay. All right, Dean has one more thing.
Yeah, no, the other thing is, well, Carl wanted to come down to Carlton Place there to take a look
Yes,
at that
you told me that,
plow
yeah.
truck, but he couldn't come down with us or with me or whatever, so we went down there and it's completed now. They're going to do the greaser on it and then they're gonna ship it back up to Rush Truck Center in Pembroke, and then we should have it most likely by the end of August,
Wow, that's news.
so.
Good. That's really good news. It took a long time.
Mhm.
Everybody's complaining, can't get parts for anything.
It's tough.
Lots of delays.
It's tough, yeah. A lot of people are telling me it's just, the world is a different place, that's for sure. Okay, well, Dean, then, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you. You do.
Okay. Chris, your report?
Okay. So coming up, we've got the KHR car show, so just for that on everyone's radar, it's gonna be this Sunday at the Round Lake Park from 10 to 3. Probably about 100 classic car and antique cars,
Good for you.
lock, stock and barrel, and barbecue all day. Which goes towards supporting our KHR volunteer rec. Irish gathering, I've made some adjustments here with the one county lads and then changing the schedule to add in the Lions Pub and take out the curling club, so you can see these are the updated schedules, and we'll post those all on our social media. Songs from the Park, so here's the full rest of the schedule. There has been an addition, Elaine Quinn and Friends at the end of September.
Thank you.
So we've got lots of good, more entertainment to come. Coming up this Friday is Dexter and Serena Sarnowski, which will be the step dancers and fiddlers who were at the Canada Day.
They're excellent.
Yeah, they're
guys,
excellent, so
really.
it's gonna be really good. KHR Logger Sport Festival, Stanley added in the stuff in the poster here that he asked me to put in about mandatory meeting and proof of certification. So that's been changed so that people know that. Just for anyone in the general public, you're looking to donate, contact Stanley. If you're looking to compete, contact Stanley, but you want to be a vendor, contact me. But we put this in our newsletter and all over there and everything like that. And lots of good feedback about changing the event as we were talking about at our, Trillium Grant, so KHR in partnership with Round Lake Property Owners Association, KHR Volunteer Rec, Senior Active Living, have submitting a grant for, to repave the ice surface, and paint it white at Round Lake. So basically they had put in this recycled, pavement in there. We were lucky that they were able to pave over it, so it, we were thinking that we might not be able to get the paint, but, the grants limit is 150,000, so we were able to get, both it resurfaced, painted, with sports lines for basketball and pickleball, as well as actually buying pickleball nets. So the number came out to $85,269.36, which would be 100% covered by Trillium if successful. So hopefully that will
When do we
go.
hear?
Probably not until September, October at the
September,
very
October.
earliest.
Okay,
And then we're gonna talk about that more when you come to your correspondence, because there is quite a bit of interest for pickleball in particular.
we'll be talking about it a little bit.
So updated events lists, as per council's request, I've made an updated the one-page list with all the events on it.
Thank you.
No problem, so you can kind of see what's going on.
Awesome.
And then
We'll hear.
some other updates. We had the Round Lake Property Owners Association AGM on July 23rd, our loggers meeting on July 25th. Public art response was July 27th, Irish gathering meeting was July 28th. And then upcoming is our swim barbecue, our household hazardous waste. And just so council knows, that I will be on holidays, August 5th, and then the 8th to 11th. And also, our newsletter is out. Looks really, really, really nice. Lots of stuff going on in the community. So make sure that you check that out. And that's my report.
Can I just ask a little bit about the history buffs? What kind of, who are they?
The history buffs are, that's Ken Ramsden and Pam
Okay.
Oglesby.
All right,
And they do like logging songs and heritage songs and stories about the Ottawa Valley,
okay, yeah,
stuff like that.
good, this way. All right, let's start at the start, Chris's report, the car show, any comments or questions? Irish gathering? Songs from the park? The Water Sports Festival? Trillium Grant?
Just have a question, would it have been possible to put in for paint for the Killaloo Rink?
We did make a grant for the Killaloo.
Yeah, we
and
applied for that. They
they-
didn't
And
get it.
they turned it down.
The big thing is kind of assessing that need and I didn't want to be too, it's hard to pull two together like that because even though there is a need there, the problem with Trillium is there's limited characters that you can use. So to try to explain your project is extremely difficult. And then to try to pair them together and show that need, it's all score based. I actually, from not getting that grant before, I actually learned a lot of different ways. Like I've gone to seminars since then and coaching sessions to try to learn how to write the grant better. And a lot of that was, it's very hard to try to pull two things together because you're trying to prove need for the one area and the one thing.
Yeah,
So, and it's kind of a stretch. So for this purpose, I tried to do it that way. And then what's good about this is if we're successful with this grant and the need comes through and we're able to establish leagues and stuff like that, and that further proves our need for one in Killaloo. So then they'll complement each other in that way. But that's the reason why I decided not to.
That was the question I asked when Chris talked to me about this, and he said that we had asked and they had said no, so trying a different approach. Okay, anything further on Trillium Grant? Upcoming events, the Round Lake Property AGM. So Chris and I attended. Chris did a good job, I hear, on after I left. Lots of questions from the Round Lake property owners, mostly concerning zoning issues, of course, because they're hearing things out there. And so those are the kind of questions, some road issues and things like that. But what I did is I came back and spoke with the staff, and I've sent a letter back to the association addressing the concerns. The staff were able to provide me answers to all the questions that were asked, so I did that on council's behalf. Loggers meeting, public art response, Irish gathering, Swift barbecue. I will be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be there. Hazardous Waste Day. And he's on holidays. Any questions further on his report as a whole? Chris, anything else? Thank you very much.
You're very
Good work.
Thanks, Kevin.
Oh, Carol.
Oh, Carl, sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Chris.
Hey.
Did you get anyone to do the, beer gut?
No, we're still working on that. We're trying to get Whitewater Brewery to do it. I still haven't heard back from them. So I'm doing everything I can to make it happen.
I've been thinking about that since the time. What if the board, contact, Whitewater Brewery, to see if they want to set up there? Is it advertising?
That's what he.
That's what he's working on. He's already done that. He's waiting to hear back from them, but they're not responding.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm talking to him. Yeah, they're not
Yeah, he's already
responding.
looking into that, he's still waiting for them to respond.
He's been working on that for over a month.
I know I was talking.
Okay,
Thanks.
all right. Anything further? Okay, thank you, Chris. Have a nice evening.
Thanks.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, yes,
Just regarding it all.
Okay.
What I was wondering, just to get things going, because my list is getting a bit full, people wanting to have a clinic. To learn how to play, some of them know how to play pickleball,
okay, wait.
and some would like to learn.
Yes,
And I brought my own nets. I have like a full size one and a little one. And I'm prepared to give some clinics if I'm allowed to use the rink in Killaloe. Now, I understand the lines aren't painted, right? I don't know if that is a possibility.
Well, I know, I just thought of too, is what about the school? The school has lines on the ground already, and I believe you can rent it out for all
Well, I
kinds of
don't- like,
sports.
I'm doing this for free. I'm looking for permission to be able to run it on the rink.
okay, so, I'm going to be, taking your letter out, okay, and then, if you don't mind, and then maybe we can talk about all of that. All right, and you're asking council, and when we go through your letter, then we can give you the answers to those kind of questions.
Okay,
Sorry. Yeah, well then Chris, maybe,
maybe.
Chris, maybe you can
Sure,
stay just so we get there.
Yeah.
That's okay, Catherine?
I
Okay.
just wanted to.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. All right, Tammy?
The only two things that I have is I just want to, let everybody know that August 22nd and the 24th, we've set for a personnel meeting. It's to open the applications for the digital service to our team member. And we need to determine the time.
Who's doing the? Oh, Margaret? Oh, I'm doing that.
Yeah, there's one member from each municipality,
Okay.
basically has a seat. I mean, you're welcome to
Yeah,
come.
no,
if you
no, that
want,
makes
but-
sense. That's just, so, yeah, did we get that set up?
Yeah, I've reached out to all the councils and they're, some of them have sent the staff and some of them are gonna get back to me.
Okay,
So they know what the dates are and everything like that.
They know the date, but has the time. been
There's no,
determined?
we haven't determined.
okay, so on the 22nd, I have an appointment at 1 o'clock, so I would have to leave here by noon. Okay, so could the 22nd, if you are setting them up that day, and the 24th, could be finished on the 22nd by noon? Okay, it's just that I have another meeting,
Yeah.
and that's the only day they were available, so, okay.
And the 24th.
And the 24th is good all day, so we can do all day. Okay,
And then the only other thing is I just wanted to let you know that when we get to unfinished business about the Zoom and YouTube,
yes,
I provided the stats in, took screenshots so
Oh.
that you can see who streamed, who viewed, and how many views that there was. So I just
Okay.
want to let you know. it's in
And
there.
that's that in
oh,
there.
it's in our package.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go quickly through the correspondence then, and then we'll be able to address Kathy's letter. Okay, the first one, again, I'm gonna go quickly. Council, if you want me to address it, stop me and we'll look after it. The first one is, okay, why am I mixed up here? I have that letter from there. Oh, here it is. I pulled that out, or I pulled Kathy said. Okay, the township of hustling.
I've never heard that one before.
No, that's a new one. Any comments or questions on that? Okay, the next one is from South Bruce Peninsula, request for support about the doctor's shortage.
That one I do
You
have,
did a
I did a
motion?
motion, if I could have the seconder.
Somebody want to second that for Debbie? Bring it over, Brian. Thanks. Okay, please read the motion, please.
Moved by Dr. Klinsky, second by Brian Crosby, motion to support the resolution for the town of South Bruce Peninsula, repositions shortage in Ontario.
All those in favor? It's carried. Okay, the next one is from the town of Mattawa on the driving alert system. Council's. Then we got okay, so let's do Kathy's letter now about the pickleball. Okay, so council, you have that letter in front of you then? Wow.
I did pickleball in high school.
Okay, so the cost would be $600. Roughly. Yeah, I mean, we won't hold you to 601. Okay, so Kathy's here. Council, this is Kathy.
So this, yeah, sorry, so so this would be, the startup cost with the 600 would be to put it into the Killu rig for the rest of the summer, right?
Yeah, come, see.
Yeah, the
It
summer.
says Round Lake and Kilburn.
Yeah, but the start of a pickleball on the Killu rig for this summer and fall.
So there's two stages. This is, so thank you very much for welcoming me and then I will.
I introduced council, so yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
All right, thank you. It says mobile.
Anyway, so it has two levels to it. First of all, there is a high interest for it to be happening within the little bigger divisions.
Okay,
Predominantly, though, I was speaking for around Brown Lake Center. Even to play basketball, as Chris has, I'm sure outlined, you can't play even basketball on it because it's like playing on gravel. So it would need to be paved, but it has to be paved anyway, but during that whole process, then putting lines in for the pickleball. Anyway, in the meantime, what I was thinking, so that Killaloo would also have something, is that if lines could be drawn on the rink in Killaloo, because I think you said you had a liner or some.
I
sort of
believe we have a line
machine or
painter, like
something.
some sort of device to paint lines.
Yeah,
And you just have to get the line paint, and I think it's just in cans.
yeah.
From what
I don't know
Dale
how
was
it
telling me, yeah, I'm pretty sure Dean would have been able to confirm, but I'm quite certain we have a line
I
machine there,
do,
so.
oh, we do, okay.
In the meantime, what I'm personally prepared to do is volunteer for the municipality. Is I'll mark out a court and just put X's. I won't draw lines, but I'll mark it out and I can start some clinics, starting with you guys if you want. To learn the game, because it's accessible for everybody, for your grandkids, your kids, yourselves. It covers all the boxes in terms of fitness, mental fitness as well as physical fitness. And I can go on and on about the benefits of it, but I'm prepared to start right now while the iron's hot. People have been asking me, emailing saying, are you gonna start it? Are you gonna start it? So I told them that council was open to hear about it, that Chris is working on it and this sort of thing, so that's where we're at. So where I'm at this point, I've brought my own nets up because I have a full net and a small net. I can start it.
Okay.
I can gather some paddles. Paddles are not that expensive really, even if we went and got paddles right away. And I could start teaching clinics so people can learn it. So we can start right here.
Okay, we do it in the Killaloo rate then. We'd like to start there just for the start.
Correct.
Okay.
And but I feel I need permission. I'm not gonna go
Oh,
out there and
absolutely.
promote it without getting permission to do such a thing.
Oh, you need to get permission.
Yeah. Yeah, and plus there's the liability. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not sure how you would get hurt. with pickleball. Actually, I did see a black eye once. Yeah, somebody went through with the paddle, but anyway, I'm just asking for permission and if I can do this volunteer.
Okay. And so you work with Chris then to
Chris
establish.
and Jen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Also-
Jen is all on board. I know her because I was doing volunteer here before with teaching yoga and violin fitness for
Okay.
skiing, so
All right.
they know each other.
Now, just a personal question. Do you live on the lake? Do you live on our lake?
It may as well be, yeah, I'm up here more than in Carver. So we built with the impact, well, we are gonna be living up here like full time. Right now, my grandkids are in Carver, so
Oh, okay.
got one foot on the dock, one
Yes.
in the canoe. So, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, Brian?
Okay, so first of all, I think it's a great idea. I don't see any issues with it. I think it'd
I
be
think it's
something
wonderful.
to
I
add to
think
the
it's wonderful.
community and get more use out of the rink in
Mhm.
the summer months.
Both rinks.
Yeah.
The second issue is, what about budget? Do we have any money budgeted or any place we could get money for
So
that?
that's Chris's budget. It would come out. Or
I,
maybe rec.
That wouldn't have been in.
I
our
think
last-
Brad, yeah.
It's probably in a rec.
Yeah.
Tammy, are you aware of?
What about approaching the rec committee?
You mean Harold?
Yeah.
No, but that's around Lake Rink. That's where he wants his money
That's
to
where
go.
it's going anyway.
Well, no, she wants to start.
No.
Yeah, but wasn't
She wants to do
there,
it both rinks.
but wasn't
No,
there,
it's right
Right
here.
see the.
but isn't there's a line in the budget, if I'm remembering Will's report, there was something for Kilda Recreation, there was money in Kilda
Well,
Recreation.
we collect money from the, when we sell property along the lake.
Oh,
and that
looking for
goes to
your
recreation.
Two ports.
Goes to recreation.
Yeah,
But I thought we used that.
Here's Carl's budget.
But,
Is the paint included in that? Your budget?
I wasn't sure how much the paint cost,
Okay,
so I sort of rounded everything.
okay.
but it says,
I have no idea about paint.
I'm working with the Round Lake property owners in establishing pickleball courts. One in Killaloo and one in Round Lake. Because Killaloo is
Can't put
paid.
it in Round Lake until we get.
That's
Yeah, we
right,
have to get the
so,
grant first.
that's right, but you want to do it at both places at some point when they're both paid.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so,
I mean, the painting itself is not a big, it's not a big deal. I know in Park, we got it started and the city paid for the paint. And the association, they did a grant thing too, like I've done 50-50 grants. In terms of Honolulu itself, I mean, you have enough room for 2 courts. What ends up happening, just to, so you know, the bigger picture is that you get a big metal bin and you keep all the equipment there. Soon people become members, they pay like $40 a season. They get a code so that they can open up the nets and put them back, the nets can last longer too if they're not just left up, and plus they don't go walking away.
Yeah.
So there's lots of layers to this. I just thought for this summer, if I had permission to at least teach it, I would bring my own nets back and forth. I just maybe need some money to get some paddles, and I can talk to Chris about that. But like I said, the big thing is permission.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be advertising this and
No,
then.
no, of course. Okay, I'm sure we can find the money together.
Yeah, but honestly, I thought that there was,
The money from the sell, when we sell property, the road allowances around the lake, the money goes into a recreation account. Or it's called but anyways, it's supposed to be spent on recreation. So that's
there you go.
a policy.
Village of Killaloo Recreation Committee, as of December 2021, there was $16,000 in there.
That's not our money, that's not our money. Do we have that money, Ken? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, because I remember, and then we've been carrying this from year
Okay,
to
so
year
that,
to
but I
year.
think that group said it has to be spent in Killaloo.
Well, that would, to me, that would help.
That would stay. So the paddles I would
Yeah.
get for here will stay here. I just need to talk to Chris about where I would store them.
Yeah, we need to buy a bin or something for that.
Yeah.
We'd have to buy something for that. I would love, I think council, all of us should have a lesson from them.
That'd
Yes,
be fun.
it's been
And,
well
we
over 30 years that I played pickleball.
Doesn't
I've
matter.
never picked pickleball, but
It's,
we could do that to help promote it for you, and Chris could invite the press so that it promotes it for you. When
And-
people see it.
I think it's just good, like, then you know what you're,
Talking about,
like, yeah, like what you're
yeah,
supporting, you
Yes.
know, and it'd be fun. It's very social. Like I found through pickleball, I'm meeting people I've been here for over 17 years. I've been in CART for over 40, and I'm meeting people I've never met before. Because you get chatting with each other, because you might show up with 2 people, so you start to meet 2 more and then 2 more. And I think it'd be good between, the property owners association, because there's a ton of people that live full-time out there.
oh, yeah, we
And
know.
then here, it'd be nice to have that exchange back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, council, so, I'm asking for your vote then that we, give Chris the authority to get some paddles that she needs in the container to put it in. I think we can afford the nets too, the $600.
the nets are not 600. I was throwing in there's nets and paddles and balls, but I threw in there the paint because I wasn't sure how much to pay for.
For 2 courts, we would require 2 nets, 8 paddles and 4 balls. The cost would be $600. So
Yeah.
that's not including the nets then?
Yeah, that's all included in that.
Okay.
Then
No,
the bins
we're
will
not
probably-
talking about the painting. The
Oh,
paint is different, right?
No, you ballpark the paint.
I
probably.
ballparked.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
the
know
paint's
anything.
probably 50, not even, yeah.
Okay,
And then the bin, I'll figure that out. So
under $1,000.
Under $1,000.
Oh, yeah, it's all under
No
1,000.
problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah,
Any further questions, council? I think it's wonderful, and you're very good that you volunteer.
Oh.
Wonderful lady you are.
I'll be doing some more this winter, just.
Okay, show of hands, council, $1,000 will get Chris to, and we'll go with the Killaloo rate. And why don't you wait? Yeah?
I don't think we should put in money towards it, I think. The Round Lake Properties Association, and stuff like that, that they will use it. I know we're approached all the time by parents that have kids in minor hockey and say no. That's,
I think for me, this is gonna be on our property, which is different. So that, again, that's just my reason.
that's your opinion.
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I'm
Yeah.
starting it in Killaloo too,
Yeah.
so that we get Killaloo involved.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but I just know on previous occasions, other people have approached council for money for stuff and we've turned it down.
Okay.
That's just.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah, I think Carl had his hand up as
Carl,
well.
did you have a question?
I think his hand is up.
Do you support it? Did you vote yes?
Yeah.
Okay, good, okay, you've got the majority. Okay, so Chris, then you have that authority to work with Kathy and you have $1,000 and good luck. And if you can give us a couple of dates that you'd be willing to entertain council, we would all show up, council. And you can teach us the
Or
ropes.
maybe as you can throw me some dates.
Okay,
And I'll work around those.
okay.
Carol has a
yeah.
question.
Yes, Carl?
I wasn't here when it was in Kathy there. I wasn't here when it was clear.
You weren't.
Killaloo and, well, that's better, what's going on, sorry.
She's gonna start in Killaloo. And then she's gonna,
It's starting in Killaloo, and then if the grant comes through for the rink, they'll do it there as well.
because they need pavement.
For Round Lake
Can't do
there.
it from now later.
They're putting the grant in for Trillium to get new pavement and stuff out there.
Any further question, Carl?
Grant goes through for Killaloo, and so.
No, Round
The
Lake.
the grant is for Round Lake to resurface out there because that surface is no good except for hockey in the winter, it's ice for the winter.
Yeah, okay.
So they put a Trillium grant in so they can resurface it, so it's like Killaloo and paint it. So it's
So
supposed,
what are you doing with Killaloo? What are they putting in there, soccer, basketball, or what?
no, it's pickleball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's volunteering to run the program for us. And Killaloo is paved, so she can, we can paint lines so that the pickleball could be accommodated there. Round Lake doesn't have paved. Okay? Anything else?
No, I think that's.
Okay. All right. So Chris, we have permission. Kathy, thank you very much for coming this evening. Okay, good luck. And we will, what we'll do is, I'll talk with Chris, we'll give him some dates,
Yeah.
and then we can set that up. And
Yeah,
we'll
just let
pass
me
it on to
know,
council.
and I'll work around your dates. I don't have
Okay.
any-
Thank you.
Yeah, great.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come out tonight.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Bye, you too.
Okay, the next is a letter from our Sue. Oh, sorry, Chris. Oh, yes.
Anything else from me?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice evening.
Yeah, you too.
A nice card from Sue. Any comments or questions? Then John Hempstead from the Ontario Sheep Farmers. Letter. Comments or questions?
Is anybody out? Are they looking for something?
Yeah, well, they're having trouble with, well, you know, the predators on the farm. Yeah, I don't know, they didn't really ask. Kind of an information kind of, you know?
Want to ensure that municipal bylaws take into consideration the use of LGD when developing their bylaws. Livestock guardian dogs.
Well, we don't have those kind of problems here. Okay, the next is from MPAC. No, shared by MPAC from Brantford. Okay,
Yeah.
Brantford City Council, potential risk to residential home ownership. It's about money laundering in the Ontario real estate market. Money laundering. Anybody? Okay, and the next one then is the Ottawa Valley Business. Any comments or questions on that? All right, that's our correspondence. And that's Tammy got for us about the Zoom meetings, so we voted and so we're all good, she wanted to get some data for us. Yeah, because it was tie vote. Okay, so unfinished business, so then in your package, Tammy provided us with this. Carl, can you see in your package? She sent it to you by email. Carl? Okay. So this is giving you a history of how many people. So at the last meeting, it was sort of decided that I'm okay with the Zoom carrying on, but I'm not prepared to spend $10,000 to $15,000 buying microphones. And so,
Ted wasn't here,
Yeah.
because they couldn't hear.
Dean, okay? So we, as you can see, we moved the owl closer because Dean has a softer voice. We tend to be louder, council.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had a comment, so when we were in Alaska, I went on to Zoom
Yeah.
and I could hear no problem, and it was quite a piece away.
Wow. Yeah,
So
well,
I'm not sure what the issue is, maybe it's some of their equipment on there.
oh, could be.
Just,
Yeah, I don't
that's just my.
want, the public got upset. There's no, council is open to the public. Every meeting, we invite the public to attend. And then because of COVID, we started with Zoom, and I don't mind continuing with Zoom, but I don't think that the taxpayers should pay for $10,000 to $15,000 worth of equipment, microphones and things, to do that. So I believe the owl can do it. And if you cannot hear, don't forget that this is taped. So you can go back after this meeting and you'll see it on YouTube. So you can look at it after, if you miss something as we're talking. And so that was, I believe, council, misunderstood by the public. This council believes in open and transparency. And all we were worried about was the cost of putting in microphones to provide that service. When, if you can't hear us or for some reason you don't like it, you're welcome to attend the meeting here. If that's the problem, just we weren't prepared to spend the money. So, but we will continue. Brian again?
Just another comment, so looking at this, some of these statistics here, some of the meetings have been really a lot of views. A lot of people are looking into it, so.
That's when there'd be a hot topic, something, yeah.
I think it's a
Good.
transparency and also accessibility to people that
Can't come.
can't come.
Very good, yeah.
Different reasons.
Yeah.
To carry on with what we do have.
And
There's
Tammy-
no extra cost to that.
No,
for us.
and Tammy, thank you for providing us with this. This makes it good. But I think people are losing sight of what the issue was. Council was talking about whether or not we wanted to spend $10,000 to $15,000 trying to provide us with microphones so that some people, and Brian just told us he was in Alaska and he heard us, be able to hear us better. So we have moved the owls to near the staff because Dean does have a soft voice. Council tends to be a little louder, so we can be heard. So anyways, I'm assuming, Ted, you're okay with that we continue, but who votes to buy the microphones? Pick your hand up. Okay, but we will continue to provide the Zoom meetings, and Tammy, thank you very much for the data. That's very good information for council. There's, and again, you're welcome to listen, join us on Zoom, but you're also welcome to attend here. If you have questions or you want to address council. All right, new business. Is there any new business? I have oh, go ahead. Oh, sorry, Brian.
I have, I got a call this evening just before I came to the meeting and a ratepayer asked if I could bring it up to council. He's had some issues over the long weekend with a bass tournament in Round Lake. And he named off a few issues he had with it. Apparently there's a lot of bass, dead bass floating around the lake. Because it's a catch and release thing, I guess, I don't know.
Who ran it?
I don't know who runs it, that's what I said to him,
I
as far
thought
as,
somebody said it was Petawawa.
we don't give out any permits for that kind of stuff, so
No.
I wasn't sure, but I said I would bring it up.
No, the lake isn't our property and,
He had
M&R.
3 or 4 issues, that was one of them, was the dead fish, and
Yeah.
he said there were he felt, he got a lot of people calling him, so he called me.
Who is it?
It was, Jerry Dombrowski.
Well,
So anyhow, he said another issue was the people were very rude to the property owners. He telling them they can't go there because we're fishing, you can't tell them where to go and this and that kind of stuff. And then the third issue was the parking lots
Oh,
at the
the
church.
church was jammed.
Apparently, they just had it fixed up when they did the Simpsons Pit Road.
Yes.
Food Chase did a
Yes.
nice job after
Yeah.
leveling everything and made it all nice, and he said it's all got all rutted up and stuff, so I haven't looked at it, but that was what he did. So I said I would bring it to council, I wasn't sure what our responsibilities are there, if any.
yeah, so the lake is not our responsibility.
The bass thing would be M&R. I would think.
M&R, yes, and we don't have a permit system or anything that would control that. And, so I think they have to take their issue up with the organization that did it. I mean, you know, I didn't even know about it, so.
I didn't know until I pulled into the church.
Apparently it happens every August long weekend.
Oh,
This is not the first one, it's been.
No, well, I was going to the community yard sales, right? And
I went to the
you know,
community yard
but then
sales
that's
too.
when I seen the churchyard and
I seen the
oh,
churchyard, but I didn't know what that was all about.
Yeah,
Yeah, he called just this evening there, just
Yeah,
before. the
well, that's too bad. It is too bad. I remember hearing, but this was years ago, that they had a bass tournament, but I thought it was on the river.
That's a different.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, that's a different one.
There's a.
That's from Fairmont Bridge down.
Oh, yes, I knew, yeah, but I never knew there was one on the
I
lake.
didn't either till this year. I heard about it.
They've had them there every year.
Stanley would know, must have been like a
So,
zoo.
Yeah,
But it
they
is-
had their route and stuff, but they brings, like, I'm sure Jeff and Don at the store, how
Yeah, they bring some business,
big
yeah.
business, gas.
Yeah, it's really too bad that, but unfortunately, we would have no
Yeah,
jurisdiction.
that's what I kind of told him.
But now that I kind of heard with the complaint came from, I wouldn't be near it worried now. I don't think it's that serious.
Okay, I didn't hear anything. Nobody complained to me.
I didn't either. I don't expect.
Carl?
I don't wanna say nothing, but my son was in a bastard, it goes every weekend.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
And so many tournaments that they pay for a year, that I don't know, it's 8, 10, 12, I don't know, it's every Saturday, every know.
Yeah.
All of it,
It's a big thing. It's a big group.
That's right.
But we have no jurisdiction, so we don't have any, we have no way we can regulate or make them, like, we don't have any teeth, we don't have any.
I don't know, maybe there's one basketball, I know, that's very good at it, because I was in one there, and was at every basketball, they're up on the boats, they're about, boats were spot lake, they went up there last year.
Okay,
I lost one bass, and also, we don't know.
okay.
I'll get back to him and just
Yeah,
tell
just
him.
say we're sorry, we,
Yes,
you know,
like, it's
contact,
not
to find out
our-
who it is and to contact them.
contact the group.
Absolutely.
It's, I mean, I got home there just when they were finished away in it. And you wouldn't believe the boats that were out there just in front of the
Oh, I believe it.
boat launch. Trying to catch the ones that were released. I'm not joking, this is
Oh,
good.
no, I'm just,
And, like, the way they bring them in the live wells there, and then they dump them, they have a tub there
Yeah.
with water, and the fish are waiting,
and they're like, oh,
and they, you know, I guess it's the amount of fish you get, whatever the weight is at, and then, of course, the biggest one.
And they don't just dump them in water, they make sure if they're gonna die, they keep them.
yeah,
That's right, that's what he told me there,
Yeah.
because he said, well, then as soon as they weigh that group's fish.
Yeah.
Then they're dumped in bags filled with water, like this canvas bag,
okay,
tubs or whatever, they would have dumped them in there off the dock.
yeah.
So there would have been a lot of fish swimming around there.
Swimming around the dock there for a while.
Them guys were in there trying to get themselves the snacks.
That was one of the
Good luck
questions.
trying to get them to bite again.
Yeah, I think I'm a stupid place. Yeah, the other question that the Round Lake property owners was about, if we were extending the dock, and then they were asking about that, and I said it was all in the works, right? So,
So I was just gonna say, on a positive note, then, if there was that many trailers and boats going in and out of the launch, then it must be working all right.
yes,
Yeah,
I didn't hear any complaints about that.
No,
Sucker.
I never got any complaints.
I know at my camp, I've had several past terms, never seen a dead fish yet.
Okay,
I think that's more for, on the water.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
Thank.
yeah. Okay,
so I'll
yeah.
get back to you.
Good, that's
Thank
good.
you.
Anybody else have any new business? So I'll read a letter that I received. Mayor Janice TJ, Township of Killare, Dear Mayor TJ, it is with much thought and regret that we are officially canceling our rental unit located within the township building at 9 Boland Street, Killaloe, Ontario, effective August 31st, 2022. Killaloe has been my home and always will be. Unfortunately, with changing markets, particularly with the cost of gas, rising inflation and inventory cost increases, we feel that it is in our best interest to focus on being more efficient out of our new location. We are proud that many of our employees' families still live in the township, and we can reassure you our company will continue to support Killaloe, Haggerty, Richards in years to come. We sincerely appreciate your continued support of our business and look forward to working together in the many years ahead. With highest regards, James Well, President of Well Collector. Okay. So let's send them a thank you and
Water they got?
then August.
We're officially right out.
Yeah, they'll move it. Okay.
So.
And-
with all the stuff. And everything there.
Yeah, just so that we can thank them and say that we're hoping nicely that we're hoping that he will exit all the material that he has on their property. Is that okay, guys? Yeah. Sure. All right. Okay, any other new business? Carl?
Some new drugs in my walking level.
Oh, yes, yes. Sure, nice man, I met him, yeah, real nice man. Sure, if that's what council wants to. Sure. Council?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to town. He wants us to send a letter of welcome to our new druggist. For soul and new druggist.
First name's Mohammed, I don't know his last name, sorry.
Yeah, he gave me his name, and I forget it. We're very lucky, yeah, we're very lucky that he's staying in Killaloe, so really good news for us. Any other new business? All right, so we do have an issue in camera. So I want to thank the public. We're gonna exit and go in, and we've got 2 issues that we'll be dealing with, and then we'll come out. Now, Carl, you can stay on the line because we've passed that bylaw that allows you to stay on when we're in camera, where before we couldn't do it. The province has made that allowable. Okay? You can.
You
So,
can stay in, if you want, you can stay on the line because the bylaw allows it now.
to allow you to stay for, as long as you answer my question that you're alone.
Are you alone?
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's have a motion then, again. Yeah, so we will be back. Hopefully we won't be too long in camera. Thank you to the public. Go ahead. Motion. Yes, read the motion and then we'll go in.
Ted Brown, second by Brian Kowalski, be it resolved that council move into a closed meeting pursuant to section 239 of the Act 2001 as amended for the following reasons. Personal matters of an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose.
All those in favor? It's carried. Okay.